What is going on YouTube? Double O here, and yes, everyone has given their take on the whole Charlie Kirk situation, and I never thought I'd be making a video about Charlie Kirk, but here we are, because it's gone a bit mad right now, and I want to give my opinion on this because me and my fiance have been going over and over this, shocked about the reaction to his unfortunate passing and murder, assassination, whatever you want to call it. It's mental. And yeah, everyone has given their takes. I've watched the amazing Lucas to Asmongold to Shoe on Head, Metatron, double toasted, Corey at double toasted. I've watched Young Don, that's his name now, Young Don. I watched so many Abba and Preach, all their takes. I've watched Tyra Magnus's, and this is my take based on all their takes, based on what's going on out there.
We think that Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck. Hey, ooh, ah.
And it's crazy because the thing that gets me is it's not about Charlie Kirk. It's not about mourning him or anything like that. It's about the reaction.
I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
I want to say I'm not shocked, but I'm still shocked at the same time and not shocked. Doesn't surprise me that the left has gone this far.
Yo, they got Charlie Kirk, bro. I've never been happier.
Never believe the reason I'm smiling. And it has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. Nothing to do with...
I would say pour one out for Kirky boy, but I don't waste good beer on little bitches.
Rest in peace, bozo!
A lot of people that blame the right for this, a la Destiny, I've seen his take too. They seem to think that, oh, the only thing that matters about the left is the politicians and Trump, and everything's Trump's fault.
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear. The question you should ask is, why is nobody on the right afraid enough to say, hey, Trump, can you tone it down a little bit, bro? We're getting killed out here. Literally. Can we chill? It's unacceptable that feeling doesn't exist over there. And the reason why it doesn't is because they're just infinitely hyped up on their civil war machine. And then everybody on the left just rolls over on it. It's so crazy to me. You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature.
Liberal politicians are too weak, actually. They're not extreme enough, according to people like Destiny.
The most cucked, weak-ass, fucking bullshit-ass speeches on my side. God, if it happens, holy shit, I'm going to make a death note before I go out to go live and not... God, it's so cucked. It's so optics cucked.
But you know who is extreme enough? The people of the left. You know, the people that are brazen enough to just show their face on social media and say Charlie Kirk deserved it. Not even Charlie Kirk deserved it. They're laughing, they're giggling, they're joking, they're taking a piss.
This woman, I think, is a friend of Charlie Kirk who is doing one of those debate things, and she finds out Charlie's been shot mid-debate.
Charlie Kirk was just at his campus in Utah. Why are you laughing? He is my friend.
I don't agree with anything. I don't think it's right to shoot him.
Your first reaction is to Charlie Kirk is a and you're smiling and you laugh that my friend just got You had the audacity to laugh if you think Charlie Kirk is justified because you disagree with his political opinions. You need to study your heart. Because this is what abortion culture has done in our country. Our abortion culture has told people.
And they're celebrating it. I mean, joking, dark humor after death is a thin line. It can work. It's not. I don't have a problem with dark humor after someone's death, even a horrific death, like some people do, and that's understandable. But there's dark humor, and then there's just blatant, just celebrating.
A close-up video of Charlie Kirk getting pewed in the neck. No fucking way he survives. So you know what time it is.
I can't imagine someone taking their time out of their life to make a TikTok of celebrating some guy they've never met before being shot in the neck and murdered brutally. I can't imagine you live a happy life.
That's why I just felt like making this video, just to talk about that, because yeah, it's mental. Charlie Kirk's funeral was just yesterday, and I see Instagram comments of little video of Charlie Kirk's wife saying that she forgives the person that murdered her husband. I forgive him. And she's crying while she's doing it.
On the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him.
All the comments are saying, oh, this is so performative. This is so fake. I can't believe her acting. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Even if you try to say, how could she possibly be performative in this situation? The woman has like 2 kids with this guy. She's married to him. No, even if she didn't like the guy, even if she was married to him for money or whatever you think is going on, there's got to be some part of her that feels a type of way about this guy getting shot in front of her that gave her babies. You know, no matter how you think she feels about him secretly or she's trying to take the business or whatever you're trying to use to justify your own hatred and your own disgust and your own like sickness, you know, like people trying to justify their sickness so bad that to try and say she's been performative. And when I saw that shit on social media, I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, seriously, like, the people have no compassion, no empathy whatsoever. Yeah, Charlie Kirk told us not to have empathy. Bullshit. Who cares what Charlie Kirk said, man? Who cares about anything? He could look at me and say, oh, I don't like this black guy. His wife could look at someone like me and be like, I don't want someone like him marrying my daughter. Whatever they think, I don't care. At the end of the day, it's not about Charlie Kirk or his wife. It's about you as a person and about how you react to this kind of shit. And you matching what you perceive to be their hatred isn't the way forward. That's just not me at all. Like, I borderline hate Hassan Piker. I don't really like Destiny too much. Sometimes I used to like him at some points, and then I really don't like him. I flip-flop with him, and I don't really hate anyone. I struggle to just purely hate anyone, except for maybe Hassan Piker, and even him, I don't really fully hate him. You know, everyone has a potential to be a good person in my eyes, you know, and I just can't bring myself to ever be proud or celebrate the death of someone like Hassan Piker or something like that. If I heard something happen to him, God forbid, and I'd be like, what the fuck, that's terrible. Like, I would never even think to celebrate someone that I don't like's death. That's for me to do that, they'd have to have done something physically violent or harmful, greatly harmful to my life. And that's how people see Charlie Kirk, I guess. They see his rhetoric, the things he says, as harmful, as like a potential violence. But that's what the left has been taught, that words are violence. And that's where I think the issue is.
Sympathy for Charlie Kirk is weird. You don't have to like violence, but I'm confused as to how you thought the revolution was going to be magically bloodless.
I've been saying we need to bring back political assassinations. I don't feel bad, and I don't think that everyone deserves the right to free speech. I think some people should be afraid to express their opinion in public.
I didn't like what he said, and I didn't like his opinions, and I don't really give a shit that he's dead.
The moment where you respond to Charlie Kirk's words with your bullet, with your violence, is the moment you lost the argument completely. And then everybody celebrating it is even worse than the kid that shot the bullet, because he had the balls to go up there and do that. If you put the gun in these people's hands, you see what they look like. They ain't pulling the trigger, but they're happy to celebrate someone else doing it, and it's pussy. And it's just like, nah, man, if anything's pushing people to the right, it's shit like this. You know, you can say, oh, Trump isn't mitigating this properly, and he isn't. 100% he isn't. Trump isn't like saying, you know what, we all need to calm down. He's on flipping Fox News or whatever saying the right are just radical because they don't like violence and all this kind of bullshit he's saying. Yeah, that's true. Trump is definitely not helping the situation, but that don't mean you get to act like a fool as well, you know? That's not how this shit works out here. And even when Trump was nearly assassinated, I was shocked when some people were saying, people I work with and stuff like that, people were saying, oh, it's a shame he missed and all that. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, where the fuck is your humanity? Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, you can say these people are doing horrible things to other people, but you don't give a fuck, really. You're just saying that because it's like politically expedient to say that right now for you. You know, it makes you feel better or whatever it does. But you didn't give a fuck yesterday before whatever else, before Kirk died or before all this happened, you know? People just start making excuses for their own hatred, for their own shitty lives or whatnot. And it's just disgusting. Like, seeing Amazing Lucas's video where he's denigrating his wife, Charlie Kirk's wife, and he's justifying it by saying people were taking a piss out of George Floyd. All the people taking a piss out of George Floyd are disgusting as well. They pissed me off as well. I was pissed at Stephen Crowder. That's another one I dislike. If I heard he got shot, I would not be proud or happy about it or anything, or celebrating Stephen Crowder's death. But yeah, Stephen Crowder was doing that stupid video where he was putting a knee on, or someone was putting a knee on him to show how he could survive it, where the knee was like far down his back, and like it was ridiculous. And people making memes about George Floyd, they're just as fucking stupid and disgusting as the people on the left doing it. The difference is though, the people on the right or whoever that was making fun of George Floyd had hid behind their computers, hid behind screen names. So you could say maybe the left is more brave for showing their face, their weird septum noses and their colored hair, and most of them being female faces on social media and saying how much they're celebrating this. But I think they're just stupid. I think they just don't understand what they're actually saying. They genuinely don't feel that humanity in them. They think what they're doing is okay. They think they're the greater good, and it's just scary that that's how they think. That is just wild to me. And it kind of makes sense how media, television, movies, and all this kind of shit has gotten so bad. Because you know these are the kinds of people that's behind it. They have literally no normal morals. It's like, it's so crazy to see. I've seen people break down. I've seen Annika Sparian and Shoe on Head's videos where you can see them literally breaking down from the shock
The only way this country moves forward into a better world is when conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side. We are 10 years into whatever this Trump madness is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their side. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term.
I have all sorts of disagreements with the right. That doesn't mean I'm going to dehumanize them and cheer on the slaughter of my fellow Americans because we have disagreements on politics. You're embarrassing.
I wish anybody here had the same energy for the president of the United States, but that's good. I'm glad you guys are focused where it really counts on Twitter. And
Dude,
YouTube,
you have
where the
like
conservatives want you to be
TDS,
focused
like
on, you know?
you are like the prototype
TDS,
of TDS.
yeah, there it
it's
comes.
unbelievable.
Yeah. The
You
TDS,
wake up every
yes.
morning and you decide your behavior is going to hinge on Trump.
Tell me more about the dancing
Israelis
Israelis and building
God, have a little bit of humanity.
She's the one who gave a 17-minute speech on TV where she talked about good versus evil. She's the one showing up in
Destiny,
TPUSA ads to 1 or 2 days after.
If someone assassinated my husband, I would not be able to have the level of composure she had during that speech. I would be out for blood. I understand why she's angry and why she said the things that she said. Okay, you need to understand what being a human is, what it's like to actually lose someone that you love, that you chose to spend your life with, that you chose to raise children with, a person who was violently and viciously assassinated like that.
Again, this isn't really about Charlie Kirk or his family or his wife. This is about how people reacted to this, and it's just mad to me. And I just wanted to say something about that. I don't know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know. I don't know how you guys feel about Charlie Kirk. Because what's crazy to me is at first I was like, man, I don't agree with all these clips I'm seeing, like talking about DEI black pilots and how if there was a black pilot, I'd worry, you know, about getting home safe and being horrible to these black female politicians and the stoning gays thing. And the more I kept digging, the more I kept learning, the more I kept watching the full context of all the clips, is when I realized he was not saying anything of that nature. And even if he was close to saying those things, or if he was teetering that on that line of this is borderline racist, he always had some kind of logical argument to make it make sense. Doesn't mean he's right, but the point I'm trying to make is he's trying to make an argument. Like, you have to allow people to make the argument, whether it offends you or not. You know, otherwise we can't get anywhere in life, in politics, in anything, to have the conversation. You can't hide behind the truth all the time, or what some people perceive to be the truth. You have to debate them, not shoot them in the neck, because it makes you lose the argument immediately, instantaneously. And that means your side don't mean shit no more. So if people are, and that's what makes the left even more crazy, they're claiming this. The people that are celebrating this, you're basically claiming that this guy's part of you. You're him, you wanted this to happen. You would want this to happen if you had the balls to go up there and shoot him yourself. You're happy about it, so you're claiming him to be on your side, which is really funny to me how some people are trying to say this kid is right wing, but at the same time they're celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. Sounds like he's in your camp at that point, you know? And now this goes into the whole shit with Jimmy Kimmel. It's made it go even more nuts to me. Even Abba and Preach and people like that, like saying, oh, the right is starting to do cancel culture. Even Andrew Schultz and them on Flagrant are saying the right is starting to do cancel culture, though they're obviously saying the left is stupid for celebrating this as well. But the way I see it is like, yo, the left have been doing that for the last 10 years. And you didn't say a fucking word. You didn't give a fuck. If anything, you were saying this is consequence culture, not cancel culture. You remember that shit? Like, that's what people were saying for 10 years, man. And now all of a sudden it's cancel culture, and why is the right doing the thing that they hate? You should be loving this too. You should be happy Jimmy Kimmel got fired too, because you were always saying it was consequence culture. That's what people were saying. So I don't understand why suddenly now everyone on the left saying they want to boycott Disney, they want to do it. It's mental, man. This is what's driving me nuts, because I don't want to keep defending the right like this. But then I see Matt Walsh and I see other right-wing pundits and influencers basically saying, nah, we don't want this. Like, I see Nerdrotic's video where he's talking about it, and even he was saying in his video, I don't want Jimmy Kimmel fired for saying his opinion, but he's a twat and he's getting fired really because he's rubbish at his job. He sucks as a host. His ratings are down. He was going to get fired anyway. I don't know how true all of that is, but that was his take. And that's what I see a lot of right-wing people saying. When that woman, I can't remember her name now, is it Pam Bondi or something? I don't know. I can't remember her name. And she was saying that this is hate speech. And the right were like, hold on, that's not how we talk. This ain't no hate speech thing. Matt Walsh was saying that shit. And I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on, man? Like everyone's trying to say that the right is all about cancel culture, but they're literally telling their side, now we don't like this shit. I mean, yes, some people are laughing and happy about Jimmy Kimmel getting sacked and all that, getting fired. Some people are like, yeah, well, good, but I don't think they're really saying, yeah, you shouldn't be talking your opinion like this, you know? And the people that are, they're trying to argue that Jimmy was basically doing defamation by saying the killer was a Trump supporter or whatnot. Without the information being fully out there, though I still don't think he should be fired for saying that. I don't think he should be fired for saying his opinion at all. You know, it is stupid, but in the same breath, I hate seeing these left-wing people all of a sudden hate cancel culture. The same way I hate how some of the writers are saying, this is good, get rid of him. What he's saying is offensive and evil and all that shit. I hate that too, but I hate more because the left suddenly hate cancel culture when they were calling it consequence culture 5 minutes ago. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? Am I the only one seeing this shit? Am I going mental right now? You know, Charlie Kirk, cancel culture, consequence culture, Jimmy. And then people are almost comparing Charlie Kirk and Jimmy Kimmel. I'm like, what are you doing? Jimmy Kimmel is still alive. He still gets to go home to his wife and his kids and stuff. His wife still gets to see him. His kids still get to see him. What are you talking about comparing Jimmy Kimmel to Charlie Kirk and that? I'm like, what? Like, people are sad for. I've seen Mark Ruffalo and Tatiana Masinali saying she wants to cancel Disney Plus, even though Disney Plus pays her wages to be She-Hulk. And same with Mark Ruffalo, like is worried about all this shit Disney's doing. And I'm like, you're worried about cancel culture, but you were happy to celebrate Charlie Kirk's death though. Or at the very least, you were just like, That's the consequences of talking your shit. But it's not the consequences of for Jimmy Kimmel to be talking his shit, to get fired. You're mad that Jimmy Kimmel got fired for talking shit, but you're either not mad or just or you're fully celebrating for someone getting killed for talking their shit. How does that make sense? And then you wonder why the people on the center, the people on the fence, keep getting pushed to the right, giving people like Trump more power to do the stupid shit that you apparently hate. The issue is you guys at the end of the day. People on the left. It's me, basically, because I was on the left most of my life. I was a liberal all my life. And I say was because I'm still the same way. I'm still got the same opinions. I'm still pro-choice. When it comes to abortion, I'm still into social care and having a safety net for people to a certain extent. There still needs to be a bit of capitalism, but I still think there should be a little bit of socialism here and there. Social healthcare. I'm still on gun control. Like, I think you should get rid of guns. People will come in and say, "You don't agree with Charlie Kirk?" Then no, I don't care if I don't agree with him on gun control, and he thinks there should be guns and all that kind of stuff. The man needs to be allowed to speak, so then you can combat him. So I still have these liberal beliefs, but the way the behavior of the left right now is mad to me.
The best part of this whole goddamn thing is that he is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no one. It will impact few. It's just great.
Like, it's embarrassing. I don't know, man. And then people just like fly with it because they want to copy what everybody else is doing on social media. 95% of these people don't even know Charlie Kirk and they're celebrating his death. If you see the way they're talking, it's mad out here, man. And I don't even want to be defending the guy like this because I barely know him either, really. I mean, all I ever did was when I was doom scrolling, you know, when you're doom scrolling, I just see Charlie Kirk talking to some kid and I'm like, oh yeah, I agree with that. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck is he saying? And I move on. That's my interaction with Charlie Kirk since he's been doing social media stuff. And now I know way more about him than I ever thought I'd know. And people are saying he's not a martyr. You've made him a martyr, man. It's crazy out here. How are you going to have a stadium for his funeral? A stadium. And I wonder, this is what my fiance said to me, and I wonder if he would have had that had he just died an old man, you know? Like, would he have had a stadium? Probably not. You know? You've made him a martyr, basically. The way to respond to this situation, if you don't like the man, was how Bernie Sanders responded to it. He did it perfectly.
I want to say a few words regarding the terrible murder yesterday of Charlie Kirk, someone who I strongly disagreed with on almost every issue, but who was clearly a very smart and effective communicator and organizer, and someone unafraid to get out into the world and engage the public. My condolences go out to his wife and his family. A free and democratic society, which is what America is supposed to be about, depends upon the basic premise that people can speak out, organize, and take part in public life without fear, without worrying that they might be killed, injured, or humiliated for expressing their political views. In fact, that is the essence of what freedom is about and what democracy is about. You have a point of view, that's great. I have a point of view that is different than yours. That's great. Let's argue it out. That's called freedom and democracy. I want as many people as possible to participate in that process without fear. Political violence, in fact, is political cowardice. It means that you cannot convince people of the correctness of your ideas, and you have to impose them through force. Every American, no matter what one's political point of view may be, must condemn all forms of political violence and all forms of intimidation. We must welcome and respect dissenting points of view. That's what our Constitution is about. That's what our Bill of Rights is about. That, in fact, is what freedom is about. Political violence, regardless of ideology, is not the answer and must be condemned. Thank you very much.
I wish Bernie Sanders was the president, man, because that's how Trump should have responded. You know, that is how Trump should have responded, how Bernie responded. And I don't know why you lot didn't allow that man to become president, because he would have been great. Like, the man's older than Trump and Biden, and he's still more cognitive than both of them put together. And what he said was excellent about Charlie Kirk. There was one debate with Kirk and this black dude, and they were talking about, you know, his issues with the black community, and they were going back and forth, and that's how it should be done. And the black guy was super respectful, Charlie was super respectful, and you could see there was moments, rare moments, where it felt like Charlie was understanding him. It felt like.
Say it again.
Cool. Right.
DEI was created to offset racism. We left it up to majority of white America to include people of color or qualifying credentials. They would not. So if my argument is that you're saying it's reverse racism, my argument is that it needed to be there to counteract racism. Sounds like we need to find a different solution for both parties.
I have a great solution. Stop talking about race all the time. Race doesn't mean anything. Because I look at you not as a black guy, but as a human being made in the image of God, and I want to know what you bring to the table. Are you good at the job? Are you better than your competitor? Because let me just pause for a second. I just want you to hear out what we believe. Is that when you talk about race all the time, you start to resegregate society based on tribes, and you lose this idea of e pluribus unum, all made in the image of God, out of many one. And yes, we have made many mistakes in our past, but we were getting closer as a country in my childhood as being not obsessed with race. We've become more race obsessed over the last 10 years, especially the last 5 years, which is why we're seeing the anti-DEI movement, which actually ends up hurting people of color more than previously. And I guess the biggest question, though, is that why should race matter at all? Shouldn't we just de-emphasize it?
What I wanted to first respond to is the notion of stop talking about race. I don't agree with that notion for the simple fact that talking about things bring awareness. Awareness leads to actions. Actions produce change results. I just want to use your logic and flip it on you. Imagine if you had cancer and your doctor was like, let's just stop talking about it. It wouldn't, in the same context that racism wouldn't go away.
Got it.
Cancer wouldn't go away.
So use your premise. If I have cancer, that's the most important thing happening to me.
Correct.
Racism is not a cancer on America. Racism is sin, and we'll never get rid of sin because we are broken, fallen creatures from our Creator, and we rebelled.
Right, so but you do not solve issues by not discussing them. If you and your wife I'm not sure if you're married, if you and your wife have a disagreement with communication, and you tell her, like, hey, let's just stop talking about our problems. So when blacks who, let's say, have disdain for whites, it is not based on racism, it is based in cause and effect. It is normal for anybody to hate a suppressor. It is normal for anybody to hate it is normal for anybody to hate their murderers. America went to war with the British Empire for being suppressed and oppressed. So my concluding point is that a lot of the hate that can be perceived from blacks as white is hating oppression, not white people. Because if you substitute our oppression for a Mexican, if a Mexican oppresses us, we therefore hate him as well. If a black man oppresses us, we therefore hate oppression.
I think that's a fair point, man.
The rappers that I listen to, the J. Cole's, the Kendrick Lamars, they preach family values.
Okay, I'm not an expert in American rap, but if American rap is promoting family values, then I guess I'll stand.
Not in its full totality. You have different genres of rap. You know, you have gangster rap, conscious rap, hip hop, so forth and so on. But for the artists that I listen to, they absolutely promote those type of values that you promote.
I'm glad to hear that.
I actually agree with many of your conservative takes.
Thank you.
I disagree with some as well. That's just because I think for myself.
We agree on a lot. We disagree on some. I can say this, that we both want a country based on merit, and I think we should keep that as our ultimate goal and purpose. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah.
If you watch it, if you understand body language, it felt like that. So that's how it should have been. And when I watched that, it actually made me sad to think, wow, this is the guy they killed that's talking civilly more than some other right wingers to this other dude about this stuff. And you know, the guy was younger than me. Charlie Kirk was younger than me. Which is crazy. It feels crazy, and because I feel like because he's younger than me, there's probably a potential there. You know, there's a space I think there where he can learn. Like the other younger generation don't need to be that extreme, you know. But if you respond to whatever thing they're coming up with out of their mouth of violence and craziness and wildness yourself, then there's no room to speak anymore at that point. Someone has to give, And I feel like a lot of the left already have decided the right need to go. They already decided that it's time to die. That's literally what they're saying. Like, you don't believe the same things I believe. What you believe is evil. That's what the left say about the right. So you need to die. And I know the right can say stuff like that too about the left, but if I'm honest, I don't know if I see it that much like that. I mean, they can say it's evil, but I don't ever see them wishing death upon them, upon people on the left. The most I see is them, except for the fringe right that are like just crazy Nazi, crazy people that are like the fringe, but mostly the right just want to kind of want to save the left, or you know, it's religious, isn't it? They want to save the left and help them and all this kind of shit. Like, maybe you could say it's pretentious or whatnot, but to me, I don't know, man. The people on the left just think, the crazy people on TikTok and all those kinds of people are the ones I'm worried about. I'm not talking about like the Democrats, and I don't know what their goals are really. I don't know what they truly want, except for maybe money or whatever and power. But the people that are their base, that vote for the Democrats, these people with nose septum rings and pink hair and weird, I don't know, they just decided the other side can't be talked to, so they need to die.
I'm surprised that y'all didn't get rid of him sooner. And I'm surprised that you guys aren't getting rid of more people. Like, don't stop with him. Don't let him be the end dog. Get rid of them all. His wife deserves to go too. Y'all keep on talking about his wife and kids. They need to go too, because they're carrying on that mentality and that lineage. Like, get rid of the whole family. I'm so sorry. Why did you guys stop with him?
Like, it's funny. They think they're Carl Reese saying the right can't be bargained with or whatever, but they're the Terminator that can't be bargained with, can't be reasoned with, and they absolutely will not stop until you are dead. That's what it seems like to me, and that's scary, man. I hope that changes. I hope the rhetoric changes. I hope people like me and so on, people keep calling these people out. Again, I'm not talking about like the Democratic Party or anything like that. I'm talking about the base, the people on TikTok that think it's fine to say, people on social media that have no empathy whatsoever, you know. It's crazy. Even though what Charlie Kirk said about empathy is not true, that's been clipped to shit. What he was saying about empathy is saying that it was overused too much, and he's saying he should have sympathy for people. People don't even have sympathy for Charlie Kirk or his wife or anything like that. They don't care. They don't see them as human beings. They don't even have the sympathy part that he was talking about in that clip, you know? But yeah, those are my thoughts about this situation. I had a lot on my chest there. It's been a couple of weeks from now, I think, since his death, or a week or so, something like that. And yeah, man, it's been crazy, and it's probably still going to keep going. It's still going to keep being crazy. And like, it's mad. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you again soon. Peace.